Mr. Speaker, sir. Reply to start question 74. A. Sir, the total amount of loan sanctioned by the Government of India agencies under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan to MECL and slash the MEPTCL is 1. REC Limited, rupees 672.86 crores. 2. The Power Finance Corporation Limited, rupees 672.86 crores. Total, rupees 1345.72 crores, sir. B. Sir, the total amount of loan availed by MECL, MEPTCL is 1. REC Limited, rupees 193, that is 193.43 crores. And Power Finance Corporation Limited, rupees 193.43 crores. The total, sir, comes to rupees 386.86 crores. C. Sir, the rate of interest to be paid for the loan by MECL, the MEPTCL, is 9.5%. D. Sir, for the loan amount availed for rupees 193.43 crores from the REC Limited and PFC, from the REC Limited, and rupees 193.43 crores availed from the Power Finance Corporation Limited, the average monthly requirement for payment of interest is 1, sir, REC Limited, rupees 1.53 crores. 2, Power Finance Corporation Limited, rupees 1.53 crores. Therefore, sir, the total average monthly requirement is rupees 3.06 crores.
Yes, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, sir. From the replies of the Honorable Minister, he has indicated that the total amount of loan that has been availed by the MECL is 386.86 crore. But the actual amount ultimately will be 1,345.72 crore. So when the total amount of 1,345.72 crore will be availed at the rate of 9.5 interest rate, what will be the total amount ultimately of the interest to be paid monthly?
Sir, the total interest at the rate of 9.5%, sir, if and when we take the total of 1345.72 crores, sir, will come to about 10.65 crores, sir, monthly, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, so after taking this loan of 1,345.72 crore, the only interest component to be paid to these agencies is 10.65 crore. It's a huge amount, Mr. Speaker, sir. And this is just the interest. And subsequently, after moratorium period is over, when the principal amount will also have to be paid together with the interest, it may be quite substantial. So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister as to how much amount will have to be paid by then, along with the interest and the principal amount per month.
So I don't have that figure with me right now, sir. So I require notice for that, sir.
Sir, actually, the principal question is on this loan. So what will be the ultimate payment of amount to be required? All these things should have been with the Honorable Minister. I don't know why this information is not with the Minister. But however, when we are seeing that after availing this loan, just interest component is 10.65 crore per month to be paid, then ultimately when principal amount will also have to be paid along with the interest, it will be 20 to 30 crore per month. So whether it will be advisable to take this loan, Because other than this loan also, there has been lots of debts that the MSCL might be having. I don't know exactly. So ultimately, when the debts or the repayment amount will be more than the revenue that is being generated by the MSCL, it will be not, the MSCL will not be in a position to sustain on its own. So ultimately, after availing this loan, I would like to know from the Honourable Minister, what will be the impact on the consumers on the tariff?
Mr. Speaker, sir, he has asked multiple questions, but nonetheless I'll reply to them, sir. So the first one, sir, he asked about that the MECL has a lot of debt already. That is true, sir. The MECL does have a lot of debt already, sir. But the question before us was, do we carry on with these outstanding liabilities and keep taking this burden for a longer period of time? And at that moment, sir, the opportunity arose wherein the Government of India came up with this Atmanirbhar loan, which is for discoms which are facing distress, sir. And the rate of interest offered with the period of moratorium made it very attractive, sir. And therefore, sir, we took a call that rather than let this sort of outstanding liabilities continue, we decided, sir, that we can avail this loan because this is a one-time assistance and this is a very good scheme, sir. So we decided to take this loan at a low rate of interest of 9.5%, sir. And the question was simple, sir, whether we take this loan or we continue with the outstanding dues, sir. So therefore, sir, yes, this was a difficult choice for us. But nonetheless, sir, due diligence was done and we have taken a call to clear off these loans, sir. But, sir, so I would like to, just make a point here, sir, that even if we did not take this loan, sir, you realize, we all realize what is the kind of distress that the DISCOM is going through. The generating companies also similarly are going through that same kind of distress, and they would have gone ahead and started regulating us and our power, sir. So today, since we've taken this loan, since we've shown our seriousness towards repayment of these outstanding dues, I think that the generating companies also understand that there is a lot of seriousness on our part, sir. So that was the first part of what he asked, sir. The second part he asked is whether this burden of taking this loan would be passed on to the consumer, sir. No, sir.
Sir, as stated by the Honourable Minister, yes, there are lots of debts, other debts also, with the MSCL. So to clear one debt, if we keep on taking loan, whether it will be advisable ultimately to maintain the fiscal health of the company?
Sir, I think this point is repetitive, but nonetheless, I will also like to be repetitive here, sir. So the problem is such that we have inherited this mess, sir. And today, sir, the solution to this, because this is a very long drawn out problem that has been continuing for so many years. The solution for this will not come immediately, sir. So there are many checks and measures that we are trying to put into place, some of them short term, some of them medium term, some of them long term, sir. But the point being, sir, that the solutions will not come immediately. And we understand, sir, that taking a loan to, clear off all these outstanding debts is, from one point of view, yes, it does put additional burden, sir. But then, sir, the call had to be taken, as I said. And this was a great opportunity to avail of this such kind of a loan, which was it was a soft loan, sir, in nature. So we took that call, sir.
My last question, Mr. Speaker, sir. Will the Honorable Minister can the Honorable Minister assure to the House that with all these debts having with the MSCL, the cumulative burden ultimately will not lead the company to make it NPA, meaning non-performance assets, and ultimately the company or the government will have to be compelled to make it privatized.
So with the kind of legacy problems that we inherited, yes, sir, it was heading in that direction of becoming an NPA. Sir, I would like to inform the House that terminal benefits to the tune of 844 crores was committed by the government, sir. And that commitment was not met. Now, if you look at the kind of outstanding liabilities, just from that 844 crores which was not paid to the MECL, sir, it is to the tune of 2,000 crores plus, sir. If the government had at that point of time stuck to its commitment and paid this 844 terminal benefits, sir. Oh, of course, you know, sir, it was during the regime of the Congress, sir. And I don't want to go into all these kind of things, sir, since somebody asked, when was it? So it was during the Congress time, sir. But, sir, this 844 crores, sir, it's not a small amount. And when it was not paid, MECL had to go into its own resources and take out money to pay terminal benefits because the government at that time did not keep to its commitment. And today, if you calculate it, sir, it's more than 2,000 crores. So, yes, sir, I mean, the financial mess, it's a huge mess, sir. But today, we are trying our level best to ensure that there is a turnaround. And there is a turnaround, sir, by, by putting in place, as I said, long-term would be to increase our generation, sir. Short-term and mid-term would be to reduce our AT&C losses, our T&D losses, improve our billing efficiency, things like that, sir. So we are putting in all these checks and measures, long-term, short-term, and medium-term, and we expect a turnaround, sir. But as I said, sir, this is something that will take time. It's a gradual process, sir.
Yes, by George, please.
Sir, from the total outstanding liabilities of the MEPDCL, 372 crores is of MEPGCL and 125 crores is of MEPTCL as on March 2020, sir. Will the Atmanirbhar loan also be clearing the debts of our own subsidiaries, sir?
So this loan is specifically for the DISCOM, sir.
Sir, there was this figure from the financial reports of the MECL that the liabilities went up by 21% in 2019-20, and in the start question that couldn't come up for disposal, we could see that there was a drop in the revenues from 18-19, 19-20 because of various factors. So, may we know, sir, what are the ailments that have suddenly led to this 21% jump in the dues and the drop in the revenues in the past 2-3 years, sir?
So this drop that honorable member is talking about is not something that is, happening now. These drops have taken place in the past also, sir. And as I said, sir, the reasons are many, sir. The billing efficiency is very low, sir. It stood at 62%, sir, some years back when we took over, sir. But then we have been able to bring it up to about 72-73%, sir, as of now. So yes, sir, there have been ups and downs, and revenue has seen a surge, has seen a drop once in a while, sir. And this is something that there are many reasons, sir. So which I have explained in the past, sir. But I'll, for the benefit of the House, I'll go again into all those matters, sir. So as I said, sir, transmission and distribution losses are there. So that is because of the fact that our distribution network at present needs strengthening. And for that, sir, we have been able to, Government of India has been very kind to provide us this ADB funded project, sir, whereby we are setting up more substations. It will strengthen our distribution network, sir. Then, sir, there are billing efficiency. Because of that, sir, our commercial losses are very high, sir. So for that also, we are bringing up smart meters, sir, and the opposition has been very, very keen on knowing what the smart meter is about, sir. And, sir, we believe that with the implementation of the smart meters, we will be able to bring down the commercial losses, because the billing efficiency will improve, exponentially, I mean, in a very big manner, sir. So these are the things that, sir, we foresee that things will gradually start turning and the revenues will start increasing, sir. But revenues are because of these reasons, basically because of leakages and also because of, the low billing efficiency that is there, sir. And I would like to also inform, sir, that, Meghalaya government has gone ahead with smart meters, and it is just recently that even Government of India has now started the whole process of converting all static meters to smart meters, sir. So these will be smart prepaid meters and prepaid meters, sir. So there is a huge, massive exercise which Government of India, Ministry of Power has communicated to us that they will be throughout the country converting all static meters to smart meters. But we have taken the first step, sir, and we have started initiating such kind of measures, because even Government of India realizes that to improve billing efficiency and to improve the whole networks, distribution network, that such kind of interventions are required, sir.
Yes, my judge.
One last submission, sir. From the reply of the Honourable Minister, we could realize that the Atmanirbhar loan will be to clear off the dues of the companies from outside, leaving aside the dues of our own subsidiaries. So I would request the Honourable Minister, sir, to kindly also review the pending liabilities of our own subsidiaries, because in the end, the burdens will keep coming, and our own subsidiaries will not be serviced with the payments, and now this entire loan will be for the companies that are coming from outside, sir. That's also my suggestion, sir.
So we are already looking into that, sir.
Yes, Community.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I know from the Honourable Minister, how long will be the moratorium period?
So the moratorium period is for a period of 2 years, sir.